My name is Ludmila Valovaya. I am a doctor in medicine, immunologist, geneticist, and let me tell you a bit more about myself for those who meet me today for the first time. I have worked in medicine for 37 years officially. The last 20 years, I've worked in military hospitals. During this time, uh, for 26 years, I have worked professionally in orthomolecular medicine. And you have probably heard these words as integrative medicine, holistic medicine, or naturopathic medicine. So during this big time, 26 years, I have quite thoroughly studied supplements of 5 international companies. And I was a speaker in 15 international medical conferences that happened in 7 countries of the world. So that's it briefly about me. Today's topic, I think, is very relevant not only to medical workers, but also to all reasonable humanity. So, our topic is myths about aging. What is aging? Aging is wear off of the system and software or program on the level of the cell. There is this childhood secret. What happens with living and non-living nature every day, always? It's aging. Everything is growing old. But what interests us most is aging of living organisms, though stones or any non-living things also grow old. So, as soon as we come to this world, as soon as we are born, the growing older mechanism starts. And this growing older can happen beautifully. Some people blossom, but with others, aging is not that cute. Some grow older faster, some slower, and especially you can see it when the graduates of the same class meet, and then everyone looks at each other. Who looks what way after having grown older? Humanity has always tried to look for the opportunity to slow down or stop the aging process. In Middle Ages, alchemists were looking not only for philosophers' stone, but also for youth elixir. It sounds beautifully. So there are many fairy tales about different things that made people younger. So here on the slide, you can see a scientist whose name is connected directly to our topic. In 1990, it's a very not long ago, it's Caleb Finch who worked on the problem of aging, prolonging life. So what concepts he introduced? He introduced term neglectable aging or insignificant aging. That's his term. But as we speak about living nature, whose part we are, so there is rapid aging, and classical rapid aging is a fly that lives only for 3 days. So it's very easy to research it for any purposes, including aging. But a shark, it's slow aging. There are sharks that when they catch, they identify their age. And there was a shark 272 years old. And a polar shark, when it was caught, uh, was 392 years old. We are in the middle of this scale. And so Caleb Finch called that minor aging or insignificant. So not rapid, not slow, but in the middle. In April 2014, participants of Third International Conference on Genetics, Aging, and Long Life have written a letter to WHO with a request to or an integration of data of all age changes and pathologies all over the world. In 2003, Ministry of Energy of the USA and National Health Institute has provided the genome map. 2003, scientists have shown that to whole humanity. And since 2003, aging has been considered on the level of genetics. The thing is that the problem of prolonging life and youth is worked on by the whole world. This is an issue that is very complicated because there is the fine line between long life and oncology, because oncology is also infinite multiplication of cells. So these two things, prolonging life and oncology, are divided by very fine line. This is a funny curve. Gerontology, the science of aging, the science of aging of organisms, including humans. This science studies biological, social, psychological aspects of aging of humans, reasons of aging, and methods of counteracting aging. The main tasks of gerontology is to identify the mechanisms of aging. How does that happen? And see that line, the horizontal axis is years of our age, but the curve going up and then plateauing and then going down, what is that? That those are the mechanisms happening on the level of our hormones, etc. So what happens with us? So the peak of human resources is at 24, 25. That's it. Later on, there is a plateau until approximately 30. And there, whether we wish it or not, after 30, we have this gradual decline, which is aging. And so we want this line not to go down too fast. And because we want to prolong life, not prolonging old days, but the health of middle age. That's what scientists are working on. So the resources of our hormones worked best at 25. And here I would like to speak about one specific hormone so that you would understand that what has been put in us since birth. This is the hydroepiandrosterone. This is adrenal hormone. We rarely speak about adrenal glands, but you have to treat that organ that with respect, because for some since 25, for some earlier, this hormone goes down, and then sex hormones go down, which means estrogen, testosterone go down, which are our youth, which starts going away. And then we lose the fullness of life. So, what do we have to remember? We can't stop aging, but what we can do, we can slow it down. And that's what we are going to talk about today, how to slow down aging. There is this area of discussion called anti-age. But when I talk with people, I hear that mostly people perceive that as skin care to look younger. But anti-age direction works on providing health and life energy for the heart, muscles, brain, and in parallel external appearance. So appearances, of course, mostly our skin. It's important to know that not only there are signs of aging, but there are also sources and reasons of aging. Of course, we live longer than our predecessors, and naturally, we want not to look our best and like ourselves in a mirror, but we also want to feel well. Retirement gets postponed every year, so many are forced to work even after retirement. But there is this unwritten rule in the world of business, of companies, that use for the company is strength, mind, and life energy. So whether we want it or not, we have to look like we are 40, because after 40, it's not easy to get employed, as you know. So what does it mean to feel young? We, of course, can change everything about our appearance. There are many opportunities right now, but so it's easier to look well, but how to feel well? It means not to lose physical energy. What energies do we have in our body? It's physical energy, which we lose with age. Just to compare, when a person is young, they can go do something through the night, then in the morning have a karaoke, and then work the whole day, then rest a little in the evening and go again to hang out somewhere. But older people, what's old age? It's fatigue, it's a loss of physical energy. Next energy is mental energy. With age, people have a decrease in their mental energy. Uh, Sharpness of mind, good memory, creativity, clear mind. It's all about young age. But with old age, if we take the extreme, it's when the brain dies before the body. Alzheimer's and Parkinson's, etc. So what is the next energy? It's loss of sexual energy. With age, we have less and less time and energy for sex. Women lose the ability of conceiving. With men, it happens later, but testosterone also declines. Remember the graph I showed you. So there is a decrease of erectile function. And you understand well that people start using Viagra's, etc., but it could be even dangerous. There is this concept of successful aging. It sounds good, successful aging. So what's the strategy of this successful aging? To decrease the rate of aging and to increase the life expectancy. In what way? Of diseases and handicaps. You understand that with age, diseases come more and more as a bouquet. So next, increase ability of learning and physical activity. And finally, it's active participation in the life of the community, so not to lose your social life. So the proponents of this theory propose the following. They propose to restrict calories. We will discuss it in greater detail later. Secondly, tissue rejuvenation using stem cells and organ replacement. Transplantology is developing very actively. And third is antioxidants intake and hormonal replacement therapy. But you should understand that there are not only proponents, but also those who are opposed this concept of successful aging. But we should take note here the intake of antioxidants and the restriction of calories, because this is accepted both by proponents and opponents of this concept. There are two approaches to studying the causes of aging. Of course, we will briefly touch on them. So one is evolutionary genetic approach, and second is evolutionary physiological approach. As to evolutionary genetic, in 1952, Peter Metavar suggested a theory of compilation of mutations. In nature, there are quite many animals that do not grow old and die for different reasons. And in their genes, as he researched, there is a pileup of mutations from generation to generation. And if some individuum from that species does not die, then these mutations make pressure on the genes and the body starts growing old. These research unfortunately are not very well founded, but the pileup of mutation is of some interest. What has been identified is that 20% of the rate of aging depends on genetics, just 20%. So the second approach is evolutionary physiological. What does that mean? This is the theory of one-time body, that growing older is the change of the functions of the body due to ecological changes and new needs of the body. And the So the reason of aging is external. That's why it's called epigenetic factor. That's food, environment, hormones, and the way of life. So, 80% of the rate of aging is depending on epigenetic factors. Now let's go into theories. The first theory is genetic aging or biological. You have heard this. Genetics is to blame. Genetics is to blame for our aging. With age, our genes do not actually change. Only the communication of our genes with the cell changes. And one gene that there is not one gene responsible for aging, but there are groups of genes, and these groups of genes are called youth groups of genes. So how they influence the cell is called expression, how cell responds to them. Every organ has its group of youth genes. In our body, there is a genetic clock which works as a program. Here on the slide, you have a washing machine which has different programs. First, the water comes in, then the detergent, then it washes, then it rinses, and so on, and then it turns, and then it dries, and so on. So where can we prolong youth? We can prolong the quality of life influencing that program. Remember that graph when there is a peak and then there is a plateau. Like in the washing machine, we can change a program. So that's what we can influence. We are not influencing the life expectancy, and we can't check who will live how long, but we can change the quality of life. We can influence that. And so epigenetic regulation, so regulation of external factors which influence the cell, influences the youth genes that influence the cell. It all depends on how we work with our what we have inherited, what will be our way of life. This is an example of one egg twins. There are these cases when twins were separated, but they are identical twins, but they are in different conditions. They have different food, different way of life, environment, and so on and so on. And we see that their aging happens differently. So epigenetic factors which influence aging to 80% are really, really important in prolonging quality of life. And you can see that looking at the skin. Next theory is the mitochondrial theory of aging. In 1978, this theory appeared. In youth, our body generates so much energy. If you look at children, you get tired even from looking at how they run and pace and move chaotically. So where do children get their energy? Where do people get their energy? From food and oxygen. And all of that happens on cell level. So from food that we eat, we get energy, which later becomes chemical energy, and later on, electrical energy used by the cells. And all this mechanism happens in our power stations that are called mitochondria. Food energy that later turns to our energy is turned in ATF, adenosine triphosphate acid, and with age, mitochondria become smaller, decrease their functions, their number decreases. In every cell, there are approximately 2,000 mitochondria, which take 1/4 of the cell. And so these mitochondria generate energy. And as with age, both number and quality of the energy decreases, and our body, our organs still need the same energy because lungs have to breathe, heart has to beat, and feet have to walk, but we keep losing energy. That's what aging is. What can be a stimulus to mitochondria? First of all, sports, that's how we can influence it. Aerobic running, additional food, energy sources. As mitochondria are our power stations, then we need to give them coal to those power stations, give them food so that they can generate life energy and more building blocks. In parallel to energy generated as ATP, like in every factories, there are waste, active forms of oxygen. And if these wastes leak from cells, this is very dangerous. It's destructive for the body. Also, free radicals pile up in the body. And so we have molecular waste of zombie, so-called zombie cells and so on. So that's how nature created us, that we also have antioxidants, which bind those free radicals and prevent their destructive actions. But there is a moment where free radicals are more than antioxidants. Then there is damage to the cells and to mitochondria. And then we have a leak of wastes from the power stations. You should understand, mitochondria we inherit only from the mother. They are only in ovaries. And so we inherit that from the mother. And the youth group genes are connected to mitochondria. There could be 52 genes or 37 genes in that group, and they influence the way we feel and how fast our aging happens. What do we need? First of all, we have to know where do we need most mitochondria. That's the brain, the heart, and the muscles. And the food for mitochondria are B group vitamins, alpha linoleic acid, minerals, bile acids, and amino acids. Now we move to the next theory. So we have finished mitochondrial theory, which provide us energy. Next theory is immune theory of aging, which which means that we die of disease, not old age, because we are weakened by bacteria, helminths, pathogens, and so on. And there are inflammation processes. And by the way, there is a aging theory of inflammation. So the postulate of this theory is that we die of disease, not old age. You most probably heard something like that. The next theory of aging that couple years ago was so well known. Everybody was happy about this theory, the telomere theory of aging. But let me tell you one thing. This theory is now believed to be outdated. Unfortunately, well, science moves forward and makes new discoveries on the level of chromosomes and so on. So what data have we got? They were saying that the timer of our life counts down in our genetic clock. And when a cell stops splitting, chromosomes do not become shorter. Only their protective layer, telomeres, get shorter, but the chromosomes do not change. So the cell division simply stops, but nothing happens to chromosomes. Otherwise, the humanity would have disappeared long ago. So this theory of telomeres, telomerases, and so on, those who were interested in this topic, you remember that they only influence mitochondria, with the only exceptions of stem cells and cancer cells. As I told you, the theory of aging and oncology are very, very near each other. So what happens here is that oncological cells do not grow old. Why? Because they have a ring DNA, so they only multiply, but they do not get destroyed. But let's not speak about sad things. So theories of aging, social and psychological, because there is effective and destructive aging. So what is it about? It's keeping active life position in the old age, that you have to go to people to have some collectives singing or dancing together. So you must not be isolated. And so inefficient aging is the opposite, where people get isolated, but you have to communicate, you have to go to people, you have to be connected. As of today, another theory of aging is free radical aging. This speaks about piling up of broken materials. Up to 5,000 cellular breakdowns occur daily in the body, but not all are repaired. So in the body, in the cells, there is always two processes. One is breaking down, the other one is like repairing. But there is a moment when the maintenance or repairs are unable to handle. And what happens? There are wastes that are built up. And also it is caused by ultraviolet from the sun. And let me now tell you one thing that scientists have discovered, that in the last 100 years, we started to eat 10, 20 times more than our predecessors 100 years ago. So what happens? The following, that the number of calorific calories is bigger, and mitochondria generate such number of energy that cells cannot absorb. And you should understand, science is about numbers. So for one unit of sugar, carbohydrates are sources of energy. So per 1 unit of sugar, mitochondria produce 2 units of ATP. Second source of energy is fat. Per 1 unit of fat, mitochondria produce 32 units of ATP, and cells can't manage to absorb all of that.
So there are more damages than reparations, and ATP is also present. So our cells start working and they get overwhelmed. And at the same time, we are facing vitamin D deficiency. And that's, as along with vitamin C, is the vitamin of youth. And there are free radicals. And when there are more than antioxidants, it leads to the damage of mitochondria, and we start aging more rapidly. A few days ago, the TV was showing the month without sugar. That's November, diabetes month or sugar-free month, and that's our reality. And I've already said there is the accumulation of modified proteins, which results in Alzheimer's disease. And that means free radicals, and they are very noxious for our body. The rate of aging is different for every organ, because cells in every organ are divided with a different rate, and neurons and neural cells, they almost don't divide. And our liver, the cells in our liver get divided all the time, and that is the youngest organ. And the division of cells is what shows our age, and that's very important for the aging or for staying young. Liver is very important. And there are a lot of processes occurring in the liver, but what we are interested in are protein synthesis function. The liver participates in the synthesis of hormones and ferments, enzymes, and that's very important. That's our youth, that's our willingness to live, etc. And another function is detoxification. And of course, liver has also other functions. Lungs get old quite rapidly, and we all understand what we inhale. And of course, it depends on the place where a person lives, whether this person lives in a beneficial environment with a lot of oxygen, or it is a large city with contaminated air. And we also need to understand that they are the processes inside the body, which are then followed by the processes on the skin. And we are now going to talk about the beauty that we can see in the mirror and why the facial skin and the skin all over the body. Our body is, of course, more covered by clothes, more in winter, less in summer, but still. And the skin of the body is more protected than the facial skin. The face is always open to the sun rays, to the environmental factors, and the first gene to break down is the one that is in charge of collagen. And we know that the collagen in the facial skin is broken down because it is also the collagen is synthesized until the age of 25, and then there is this plateau, and after the age of 30 there is a decrease in collagen, and in a young age a lot of collagen is synthesized, but the ferment destroying collagen, which is called collagenase, is synthesized less. You need to remember that there are always two processes. One is creation and the other one is destruction. You can never face a situation when everything is good or everything is bad. There are always two faces, two parts. And when there is no more collagen synthesis and we don't get collagen, but we still have the collagenase destroying the collagen. And then there is an imbalance. What is our aim? Our aim is to restore. And how does it affect? It also affects mitochondria that have to produce as much energy as is consumed by the cell. There must be a balance as well. And gradually it all gets destroyed. So aging starts with collagen, and there are two organs that never stop growing. That's our nose and our ears. And no matter how long you live, your nose and your ears will grow. How can we notice aging? How can we slow down the old age? There are, of course, certain recommendations. First of all, good, high quality, healthy sleep. I'll just remember you during our last meeting a month ago, I told you about this mechanism, about somatotropin that is synthesized during sleep at night. When we sleep, it goes into the liver, and the liver produces growth factors, and each growth factor goes to its own organ, to its own cells, and affects these processes and the synthesis of the cells. And next, of course, healthy diet, meaning you need to consume less calories by 30-40%. But you should not restrict vitamins, minerals, microelements. It's not like you start starving and you only can think about food. No, that's not the way to go. The quantity of calories is one thing, and rich food rich in nutrients is something different. And we need to understand that we can't, of course, escape old age. But remember, washing machines, we can set different programs for the duration of the washing cycle, and we can do the same with our body. And there are spices that can prolong youth. Ginger, Turmeric improves memory, is necessary for the brain. Chili pepper for our heart, and that's the energy that we need a lot. Then spinach, rucola, and peaches, which is interesting. Do you know why they are interesting? Because they contain a lot of phytoestrogens, just as parsley, and our body produces less and less hormones, and we could work with hormones. We could take hormone replacement therapy, or we could use with receptors. And phytohormones are pseudo-use estrogens. They influence receptors, and that's how we tell our body how to act and how to maintain hormone level in our body. Rucola is also very good. Any leaf vegetables, any vegetables with leaves, spirulina, ginseng. We've already mentioned spinach. Of course, vitamins, youth vitamins are vitamins E and vitamin D, because they are antioxidants. And we have already talked about the skin and these antioxidants, along with these vitamins E and D. They keep moisture in the skin. Minerals are necessary. Physical activity is very important. And why is it necessary? To prevent osteoporosis, for example. Now, over the last time, there is a trend to monitor physical activity. People know how many steps they need to walk every day. Why is it important? Because when we move, blood goes to the legs, and it means blood carries nutrients to the bones. It makes our bones stronger, and it helps prevent osteoporosis. Mental activity, that's also clear, but what can you do? You can solve crosswords, or you can make crosswords, and that allows the brain to work in a different way. You can learn poems by heart or something else by heart, and even ancient Greeks knew about this possibility before going to bed. Ancient Greeks, well, you know, when you go to bed, you keep thinking about something, but then you have to remember your day. How did you spend this day? What you did during the day? Maybe in details, what you put somewhere, how you moved objects, etc. Social activity, we've already mentioned that you need to be active and you need to participate. And I think that our type of activities is very suitable. Then you need to ensure stress management, and you need to carry out health monitoring. Our body is our own, and we need to take care of it. It means we have to take care of it. We need to monitor blood pressure. We need to understand that it is important. The World Health Organization indicates that if the blood pressure is higher than 120 by 80, it doesn't matter if it's slightly higher, but it's already hypertension. 125 is already hypertension. So you need to monitor your cholesterol level, in the blood cholesterol level. You need to monitor glucose or sugar level. You understand that without any doubts. And there is even new trend and new words such as protein glycation, etc. When ATP is produced in large quantities, and cells cannot process it, and then we can see this protein glycation. Then you need to get rid of bad habits like alcohol consumption or abuse, drugs, etc. You all are adults and you understand that very well. Then you need to take care of your body, protecting it from the photo aging from sun rays. You can see the lady in the picture. She's wearing sunglasses. You probably need to wear them in winter time as well. And then something that also may reduce your youth. You need to take special care of your dental health. If you have bleeding from gingiva, it may result in stroke, in heart diseases, in diabetes, and other illnesses. In 2016, there was a trend all over the world. The number of Alzheimer patients has increased, and that was noticed all over the world. And in 2016, this phenomenon has been studied, and of course, patients with Alzheimer's disease are constantly researched. Most of these patients have problems with gingiva, with their teeth, and if they have this issue, then it results in memory impairment very quick as compared with those with healthy teeth. So don't forget about dentists. You need to take care of your oral cavity with your teeth. Remember, either you will thus prolong your youth or get older much faster. What are the ways to slow down aging? Natural ones, of course, we talked a lot about them, and you need to take less calories, you need to take care of your health, and you need to take supplements, food supplements, because we need to get what we don't get from food. Because all these substances lack nowadays in the food. And you also need to use artificial ways to slow down aging. Of course, cosmetic, surgical procedures, manipulations. Yes, that's very convenient. And there are professions where you need to look young and beautiful. And what are the main directions of the plastic surgery? And it will continue developing breast implants, liposuction or fat suction, and facelift. Is it nice and beautiful? Yes, but there is also a but. The first but, any surgical intervention is a stress for the body, and it results to the fact that the interval will between these procedures will be shorter and shorter. People get to go to the surgery more often. And another thing is that we can transfer many things. We can change many things in our body except for blood vessels. And blood flows through blood vessels and carries building blocks, oxygen, and other things. Of course, we want to look healthier, younger, etc., but we also want to feel younger. And what are the signs of skin aging? Yes, it would be nice to look into the mirror and feel happy about it, not to feel sad because of a new wrinkle. And there are specific signs of aging, and they may indicate in which direction we should act to help ourselves. There are 8 signs of aging. And I divided them into groups. And the first two out of these 8 signs, fine and deep wrinkles, and then the structure, the turgor of the skin changes. And what is it? It is a signal that collagen is necessary. Next group, number 3 and 4, skin discoloration, changes in skin color and pigment spots on the skin, brown colored. And that is already a signal from the liver. And the liver is in charge of many things, but it also has to deal with somatotropin, and the liver also synthesizes the gall, the bile, and the liver also participates in pigmentation. And you need to help your liver. You need to carry out liver detox. And we are thinking about the appearance, but as a doctor, I'm going to talk about the body from inside as well. And another sign is dry skin, loss of hydration. What do you need? You need vitamins that retain the fluid. Vitamin E, vitamin D, and various hydrating, moisturizing products. And the last group is dilated pores, dull skin, and the skin is no longer smooth. There are different masses, nodules, thickenings, poor structure of the skin, and you might have seen in elderly people there are these moles on the skin. You might remember a witch from fairy tales that has a nodular structure, so to say, a mole on her nose. And what does it mean? It means that antioxidants are necessary. It means that your body, your skin needs a complete supplementation program to rejuvenate the body and the skin. Otherwise, there are these benign masses on the skin. As to myths about aging, there are a lot of them. I selected 5 of them, and you might have heard about them. And myth number 1 is hereditary factors. And then I always have a question: whose fathers, mothers, grandparents, foreparents? Because there are so many people involved. Whose hereditary factors is it? Another one is when a life comes to an end. Some may say, my parents died very early, I will die as early as them. Yes, we do have similar genetic codes, but our genes, our genetic code is not a copy of our parents, and it is not a sentence, it is not a destiny. This is just a possibility, and it depends on what we do with it. It depends on our food, it depends on the ecology, environment, it depends on how much we love ourselves. Another myth is that there is only one gene of aging, one gene. Imagine protein metabolism, energy metabolism, mitochondrial functions. Can you imagine how many there are of them? And various genes are responsible for all of that. So there isn't just one gene of aging, but there is a group of genes. We know how they affect the cell. We know the mechanism of action. We know how it all works, how it functions. And myth number 4 you cannot alter the aging. And it was acknowledged until the moment before epigenetics started to develop. And epigenetics deals with the influence of various factors, various impacts on the aging processes. And all these studies are carried out, and thanks to them, we all know we have a biological age and we have astronomical or biological age. These two ages may coincide or may not coincide, and it is possible to measure aging. And of course, there is a myth that it's enough to have a silver bullet, a silver pill, a wonderful magic jar that will help us rejuvenate the body. I'd like to have one jar, one pill for that, but that is unfortunately not true. And only one course of supplements is not enough. And we need to support our body all the time. And these formulas must be highly efficient, and the participation of the science is required.
Only then that will influence the source of the problem. The approach is important, of efficient natural products where there are traditions of wisdom, or like oriental wisdom that has been there for thousands of years, is combined with modern science. And now we study what we already have in our hands and what can help us in the process of prolonging health and use of middle age. Dear Life, Day and Night, basic composition of ingredients from all over the world. Every formula contains 13 different ingredients in the best traditions of Chinese medicine. Dear Life Day gives you strength and energy throughout the day for the whole body. What does it mean? For every organ, for every system. Dear Life Night, black bottle, helps restore and cleanse our organs at night, freeing them from the waste of metabolic exchange. And it provides full sleep, meaning some inotropic hormone, and then liver gives growth factors, and all the organs become younger, and there is a slowing of aging. So the program of our washing machine is changed. Next, liquid gold. It's a bouquet of 13 plant oils of extra virgin oils with D3, MK2, and 7. It's a membrane protector, protecting the cells. This is our energy reserve. This is help for hormones. It's ideal proportion on omegas 3, 6, and 9, which provide the decrease of blood clotting, which also is a component of long life. People who are older take statins for that, but here we have a natural remedy. And also vitamin E, vitamin A, fat soluble, therefore are in the oil. And there, you see hemp oil, macadamia oil, walnut oil, rosehip oil, grapeseed oil, sesame oil. You have all of that here. And it all includes vitamin E and A, who both provide for elasticity of the skin and help it not to be dry so that it's pleasant to touch. Vitamin B is key vitamin for our sex hormones, which is our youth and energy. It decreases inflammation processes, slows down aging, and helps absorb calcium. And let me remind you that with age, we especially lose calcium, especially women. And you can take turns between a liquid gold and this bottle with D3. Collagen, how can we go without it? This is liquid collagen, and let me remind you that growing old starts with losing collagen. This is systemic composition. Collagen is like glue connecting all the bodies and tissues of our body. Practically everybody knows that collagen is the protein of youth and skin, healthy nails and teeth and hair. So in youth we have very good fibers of collagen, but the older we get, then collagenase is a enzyme that destroys collagen, and we change in our appearance. We have wrinkles. We stop generating collagen when we are 25, and then we use what we have piled up, or we try thinking about ourselves and add collagen to our body. And here you go. So we have a C collagen here. There are different collagens, but the smallest molecule in diameter is the C collagen molecule, which is absorbed better. Collagen is divided in the body into 19 acids that our body then uses to build its own collagen. Here we have mango as an antioxidant and source of energy, which helps our skin to be beautiful. Vitamin A, beta carotene. And then we have field horsetail, and it helps our bones. Remember that growing older, we have fragile bones. Next, chondroitin. So we have glucosamine, which is a building block, and here chondroitin, which absorbs molecules of water with nutrients that I hope you supplement yourselves with. And this helps with the mobility of joints by changing quality and quantity of the liquid within joints, which helps them be mobile. Acerola is a source of the building block that slows the enzyme that destroys collagen. Vitamin C then feels horsetail, strengthens teeth, nails, helps with gums, and strengthens also hair. Nettle helps with vessels and hair and mucus. So what happens to our mucus surfaces with age? Like, for example, with eyes, you have probably encountered older people who have dry eyes. For women, there is very unpleasant condition where the mucus of the vagina is too dry. So this helps with that. Next, bamboo shoots. Every 100 grams contains 90 grams of water and 7.8 of fats, proteins, and fibers, and 2.2 minerals and microelements. Which ones? Calcium, phosphorus, again, help for our bones. and also very necessary for our brain. Then iron necessary for our blood, ascorbic acid, very unique composition. Next, chlorophyll, source of energy of the sun, helps us get our chemical energy transferred in our energy, which is ATP, into our source of energy. And we know that we need mental, physical, and sexual energy. Therefore, in parallel, we also get oxygen here, an antibacterial effect, which helps with reducing inflammation in the gut. It is like a probiotic and helps us drain our lymph and intracellular space. And it's so important because cells have to excrete all the toxins, and we have to drain them out and thus slow down the aging and many other things. Now, relaxing, ether essential oils, which helps with emotions, with sleep, with mood, helps generate serotonin, dopamine, and these are positive emotions that increase our ability to learn, and it helps us to be to endure stress. And here I would like to speak about the extract from maca root. It's antioxidant. It promotes health of teeth and skin and eyesight, and has vitamin C for skin and for collagen and for joints. Since 2018, that's the most fashionable trend supporting youth, just like ginseng. We are coming to the end. Spirulina, it's a new composition, and what I definitely know that this is the source of vitamin B, restores nervous cells, decreases fatigue, calms, and it is absorbed 85-95%, and that is amino acids. Amazing composition. 22 out of 22 amino acids that we need, 18 are in spirulina. It slows down aging, influences sperm count with men, and improves libido and fertility for women, helps with weight decrease. And the last formula, it's formula of energy, and it's not just ginseng but 3 kinds of ginseng: Panax, American, and Siberian, and enriched by vitamin B6, which is prolonging active life and youth. And I have to say that if you order energy set, there are sets that include ginseng, then the whole composition is so powerful that additional supplements are not recommended. You have to know that. Now, what company offers us? Home spa salon. Here you have everything. Science has developed everything for you. You don't have to invent anything, and you can be beautiful. This is scrub for the body, vitamin C, aloe shower gel, and aloe from Mexico with the stem cells of aloe, and then collagen C, collagen plus, and finally the facial cosmetics kit, aloe gel to wash your face, collagen hydrate face platinum, serum anti-age, and elixirs. So you simply wanna take it and put it on your face. Day cream with glycans of shellfish and night collagen cream. See how many collagens here. So you can find more information if you join to our Facebook, Instagram. There is a lot of information there. And we would like to thank our interpreters. Ukrainian, it's Natalia. English, it's Irina and Helena. And I wish you all health and long, active life and happiness, and see you again.